Constructing a winning NBA team is sort of like putting together a show-stopping meal. There are a lot of different ways to go about it. If you're historically a glamour franchise, maybe you have the resources to just go out and grab some lobster and caviar. If you're not, maybe you have to grow the ingredients at home yourself. Either way, once you get the food on the stove, it all comes down to the same thing. When the lights are the brightest, when the world is watching and everything is on the line, can you cook? The Atlanta Hawks keep proving their answer is a bona fide yes. Not only did they walk into Madison Square Garden in the first round and fillet a Knicks team carrying the momentum of all of New York City, they are now sitting just 2 wins away from the Eastern Conference Finals, thanks to last night's thrill ride of a win over the Sixers that tied that series at 2 apiece. And yes, a lot of what happens next year will depend on the health of Joel Embiid's knee, and we'll get to that in a moment. But let's not pretend the Hawks are just bystanders here. Atlanta was down 18 points near the end of the first half last night, and no one would have blinked twice if the team had just acquiesced. This is still a young group. Philadelphia is the #1 seed, led by a championship coach and 2 perennial All-Stars, and certainly the favorite in this matchup. But the Hawks did not acquiesce. The Hawks dug in, handily winning the third quarter to cut the Sixers' lead to 2, thanks to some dramatic and terrific two-way play from John Collins, and of course, a push from Trae Young, who continues to show he's not just sizzle, but strength as he fights through a shoulder injury. I loved this sequence with the 2 of them here in the fourth quarter. Collins hustling for a rebound, gives the ball to Trae, who makes, after the drive, this pass. I mean, come on. JC then pays it off with the triple. Young actually assisted or scored on the Hawks' final 15 points. And after the game, he talked about exactly the kind of environment, talk, and attitude that has exemplified this Atlanta team.
I mean, we've been fighting, all year. We've been fighting all year, and this team never gives up. We, no matter what the score is throughout the game, we know it's a long game. The NBA is a long game, and it's a 48-minute game. And for us, we just stay level-headed throughout the whole game. Every team's going to make runs, and so for us, I love the way we fight.
Now, while the Hawks were making runs, the Sixers were trying to figure out what was going on with their star. Joel Embiid took a mysterious, not actually that mysterious, trip to the locker room in the first half, and by the second half, it was clear he was having significant trouble with the knee injury that has been hounding him all series. He went an astounding 0 for 12 from the floor during that stretch. No missed basket more costly than the one with just under 10 seconds left, a point-blank layup that Embiid could, well, not lay up. Afterward, Joel said, quote, "I just didn't have lift," adding that not being able to jump for obvious reasons, it's tough. We don't know exactly how Embiid's health will go from here. The injury is a partially torn meniscus, and while honestly shouldn't be able to play well on it at all, he has somehow still managed to have some huge games in this series, and maybe he will be able to come up with another one when things shift back to Philadelphia for Wednesday's Game 5. Of course, the Hawks will be ready for that one, too. As we saw last night, this is a team that knows how to take a meal that is simmering on the stove and turn it up to a full boil. You know what? You can keep your lobster and caviar. There's some good old-fashioned Southern cooking. And as you can see, it'll do just fine.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.